Good evening to you all, and thank you for joining us here on Rwanda Television News tonight. We do hope you had yourselves a productive Thursday. Now here's a sneak peek of our edition. Rwanda has been recognized among Africa's best performing countries for investor relations and debt transparency, according to the 2026 Institute of International Finance report. King Faisal Hospital says that more than 100 patients whose kidneys had failed have now received kidney transplants at the hospital, enabling them to regain healthy lives. On the international scale, a South African startup, Lelapa AI, is building artificial intelligence tools for indigenous African countries with the goal of helping children understand, translate, and learn in their mother tongues. Once again, we're glad to have your company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali, and my name is Martina Avera. Now, Rwanda has been recognized among Africa's best performing countries for investor relations and debt transparency, according to the 2026 Institute of International Finance report. Experts say the recognition could strengthen investor confidence and lower borrowing costs. We have more coming from William Evans Mutabazi.
For any country seeking investment, trust matters. One of the fastest ways to build that trust is through transparency.
Transparency means being conducive to investment decisions, particularly for foreign direct investment and other types of investment. That's one. And two, being ready actually to demonstrate that we are trustworthy.
That is the message behind the latest Institute of International Finance Investor Relations and Debt Transparency report, which ranks Rwanda among Africa's top performers on its debate in the assessment. The report evaluates how governments communicate with investors, disclose public debt information, and manage engagement with financial markets.
The investors really have confidence in terms of governance, in terms of policy predictability and policy consistency of the country. They obtain the information at the right time. And there is no lag in terms of information.
Rwanda scored 43.4 out of 50, tying with South Africa for the highest score on the continent, and this translates into investor confidence in Rwanda's investment policy predictability and consistency.
Rwanda is still number one where investors have confidence to bring in money. And recently, the report released by RDB indicated last year we almost generated almost $80 billion from investors coming to Rwanda. Everyone is looking into Rwanda because of that policy predictability and consistency in terms of policy, in terms of the services. So we need really to continue deepening our service delivery. That is very critical in all aspects because everyone is eyeing into Rwanda.
Rwanda launched its Sovereign Investor Relations Program in 2025, creating a structured platform to provide investors with timely and credible information on the country's fiscal position, debt management, and broad economic outlook. Economists say transparency has become increasingly important as global financing conditions tighten and investors become more selective about where they commit their capital.
Being trustworthy means we can access cheap loans, we can access funds for investing in Rwanda from different sources, and that's key. You cannot develop a country unless you have necessary capital.
So that means that Rwanda can obtain any funding from anywhere in the world because investors are able to provide testimony. They are able to showcase how Rwanda does it differently.
For investors, transparency helps reduce uncertainty.
The business climate in Rwanda is also a very, very important aspect. The transparency, once the government has made a policy, you don't need anywhere to go and lobby to get that, to benefit from that policy. That policy reaches you once you qualify.
We see Rwanda as a country that accommodates international investors, and that is why we came in here. And since we got in here, it has been a very wonderful system. The system welcomes foreigners especially the investors. And with the few of them that we've been able to speak with, they've given us every necessary assistance within a short period of time.
As competition for international capital intensifies, Rwanda's latest recognition positions the country among those demonstrating that transparency is not only a governance principle, but also an economic asset. William Evans, RwandaTV News.
The Radisson Blu Hotel and the Kigali Convention Center are celebrating their 10th anniversary, marking a decade of progress in Rwanda's meetings, incentives, conferences and exhibitions tourism sector, as well as significant milestones in the delivery of hospitality and hotel services. This was reiterated by Nice Uwase, the acting general manager of Radisson Blu Hotel and Kigali Convention Center.
Over the past decade, we have had the honor of welcoming guests from across the globe and hosting countless events that have brought together world leaders, business innovators, international organizations, and communities from across Rwanda and beyond. Our journey has also been marked by international recognitions since the opening. Radisson Blu and Convention Center Kigali has earned its first award in 2017, just 1 year after opening. Some of the hospitality industry most prestigious accolades, including world-leading new hotel in 2017, multiple awards as Africa leading conference hotel, repeated recognition as Rwanda's leading hotel, Rwanda's leading conference hotel, Rwanda's leading business hotel, and many more. And those were awarded by the World Travel Awards. These achievements have not only elevated our hotel, but have also helped Kigali Convention Center to be positioned as Africa's premier destinations for meeting and conference and tourism. The growth of Rwanda's meetings and events industry tells an equally inspiring story. In 2016, Rwanda was ranked 21st in Africa Meetings and Conference Destinations, ICA. Today, it stands among the continent's leading destination, a testament to the vision of our government, the commitment of our partners, and the confidence that you all have placed in this establishment.
Moving ahead, King Faisal Hospital says that more than 100 patients whose kidneys had failed have now received kidney transplants at the hospital, enabling them to regain healthy lives. Since the service was introduced in 2023, no patient has had to travel abroad for a kidney transplant. Meanwhile, patients receiving dialysis services at hospitals across the country say they are satisfied with the care they receive. At the University Teaching Hospital of Kigali, CHUK, patients with kidney disease receive dialysis using specialized machines with treatment provided at least 3 times a week. They say they are especially grateful that the service is now covered under the community-based health insurance scheme, Mutuelle de Santé. Doctors explain that when a person's kidney fail, dialysis helps keep them alive. However, if kidney function does not recover after 12 weeks of dialysis, the most effective long-term treatment is a kidney transplant. Regarding the availability of kidney donors, the management of King Faisal Hospital says there is currently no shortage. Providing the service within Rwanda has also significantly reduced the costs that would otherwise have been incurred by sending patients abroad for treatment. The Rwanda Social Security Board, through its Mutuelle de Santé branch, says the inclusion of advanced medical services, including kidney transplantation, in the health insurance scheme should not be a cause for concern. It has now been 10 years since the international company Zipline began operating in Rwanda, using drones to rapidly deliver medicines and life-saving medical supplies to hard-to-reach areas. Zipline Rwanda says its services enable patients to receive timely medical care, including treatment for non-communicable diseases, by delivering medicines closer to where they live. Ziplines drones fly at an altitude of about 120 meters above the highest terrain. At its distribution center in Muhanga district, they handle around 600 delivery orders each day, with the number sometimes reaching as many as 800. The Ministry of Health says bringing healthcare services closer to communities also goes hand in hand with increasing the number of medical professionals. Specialist obstetricians and gynecologists are among those who say they appreciate the opportunities provided by the government to pursue advanced medical training. Rwanda has reached the point of becoming a regional healthcare hub through sustained investment by the government of Rwanda and its development partners. According to the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda, continued improvements in healthcare have led to significant gains in the health of the population. As a result, life expectancy in Rwanda has increased to 69.6 years, compared with just 41 years in 1994. The Rotary organization, through Rotary Club Kigali Virunga, has organized a charity walk aimed at raising $5 million to purchase an advanced cancer diagnostic machine. The event, known as the Kigali Cancer Walk, is scheduled to take place on August 9th this year. According to the leadership of Rotary Club Kigali Virunga, the fundraising campaign seeks to purchase a SPECT scanner, a machine that uses nuclear medicine technology to provide highly advanced imaging for the diagnosis of cancer. In addition to cancer diagnosis, medical experts say the SPECT scanner is also used to diagnose heart disease and a range of other medical conditions.
The project champion for this SPECT scanner project for the Rotary Club of Kigali Virunga.
To raise the funds needed to purchase the machine, Rotary Club Kigali Virunga has called on the public to contribute, beginning with the purchase of the official T-shirts that will be worn during the Kigali Cancer Walk.
This is a national call to action. $5 million USD for a SPECT scanner is not an easy feat. But the times are different. There are opportunities to raise money smartly, but at the same time, efficiently and shape impact in a shorter time. This campaign represents hope for every family affected by cancer through the Kigali Cancer Walk that is our initial initiative. We are inviting individuals, families, companies, and institutions to become part of a legacy that will transform cancer diagnosis and care in Rwanda. Every kit purchased and every contribution made brings us one step closer to saving lives. Ladies and gentlemen, join us on the 9th of August to launch this and shape the future of Rwanda.
Health sector statistics indicate that more than 10,000 new cancer cases are diagnosed in Rwanda each year, with the disease claiming more than 7,000 lives annually. Prostate and breast cancers account for the largest share of these deaths. Acquiring a SPECT scanner would mark another major step in strengthening Rwanda's cancer care by enabling earlier diagnosis, monitoring whether patients undergoing chemotherapy are responding to treatment, and ultimately increasing recovery rates. It would also reduce the number of patients seeking treatment abroad, as a single SPECT scanner can examine nearly 3,000 people each year. Patients visiting healthcare facilities and some of their administrators say that eliminating the use of paper in healthcare services will speed up service delivery, as only 2 weeks remain before paper records are phased out in medical facilities. The Ministry of Health has instructed all healthcare facilities to completely discontinue the use of paper records and instead conduct all healthcare operations through digital information systems starting on the 1st of next month. At Kabgayi Hospital, the management says they began the transition away from paper records 5 years ago. The Ministry of Health says the decision to discontinue paper records is part of efforts to accelerate digital transformation in the health sector with the aim of further improving operational efficiency and the quality of healthcare services. The digital system is also expected to reduce the queues that were common at community-based health insurance mutuelle de santé offices and at payment counters. Moving ahead, investors in fish farming on Rwanda's lakes say the country's strong security and business-friendly environment are among the key factors attracting continued private investment in the sector. Rwanda aims to increase annual fish production to 80,000 tons by 2035, up from 6,000 tons in 2020. By the same year, private investment in aquaculture is expected to reach $200 million. Across much of Lake Kivu, particularly along the Nyamasheke and Rusizi shores, floating fish cages can be seen. Aquasante, which farms fish in the waters of Kamembe sector in Rusizi district, is one of the 38 companies that have invested in fish farming across 24 lakes throughout Rwanda. Investors say their decision to enter the sector has been driven largely by Rwanda's security and the ease of doing business. In addition to investors who continue to expand their operations, the sector has also created employment opportunities and provided income that supports local livelihoods. Fish farming accounted for 3.9% of Rwanda's total fish production in 2000. National aquaculture production increased from 6,000 tons in 2020 to 13,500 tons in 2024. The target is to reach 50,000 tons by 2030 and 80,000 tons by 2035, representing a 65% increase. By the 2035, investment in the fish farming sector is also projected to reach $200 million. Nyamasheke District Vice Mayor in charge of Economic Development, Joseph Desire Muhayezu, says the growing number of fish farming companies operating on Lake Kivu is contributing to improved food security. Another factor attracting more investment into aquaculture is the growth of fish feed production. Rwanda currently has 6 fish feed manufacturing plants with a combined production capacity of 25,500 tons per year. However, animal feed production overall remains insufficient as only about 163,000 tons are produced annually compared with an estimated national demand of 15.9 million tons. Dr. Mupenzi Mutimura, Acting Deputy Director General in charge of Animal Resources at the Rwanda Agriculture and Animal Resources Development Board, says that although significant progress has been made to improve fish farming, efforts are continuing to address the remaining challenges facing the sector. At the same time, Rwanda's lakes still have considerable untapped potential. Lake Kivu alone has the capacity to produce more than 200,000 tons of fish annually through cage aquaculture. However, this type of fish farming currently occupies less than 1% of the lake's total surface area. And on that note, we would like to thank you for sticking with us on RTV News. On behalf of the news production team and the technical team, my name is Martina Avera, and until next time, stay safe and have a good night.